I believe that every human being is a creator. We're all endowed with that power. My name is JD Serafin. I'm the founder and CEO of Raiinmaker. Raiinmaker is a user-friendly social engagement platform built on a hybrid blockchain architecture to transform the way that fans and community interact with brands and creators. So right now, communities and fans already have social networks that they interact with, that they have their circles of influence in. Right now, if you go online and you talk about Star Wars, you're creating value for that brand in a big way. They're able to leverage that and monetize that, which is good, but the fans should be getting their kind of fair share for what they're contributing when you create that relationship where there's more of a co-ownership rather than a consumer that's being sold to. There's a whole different value proposition and value dynamic that occurs. So right now on Raiinmaker, you can share campaigns to Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or even social share it in Facebook Messenger, Telegram, Signal. I mean, you name it. You literally can share content to any connected app on the planet and be rewarded for the engagement that you're driving based on your digital influence. The origins of what Raiinmaker is actually goes back to a project that I produced and co-directed in 2012 called Serious. We did a worldwide transactional VOD release ourselves, and we did over $1 million in sales. And that was with zero marketing budget. What that means is the community who had donated the money to make the movie happen in the crowdfund was the same community that would make it a huge success. So in that moment, I realized that when you can align fans with the project, there's this potential to create, outsized performance. So with Raiinmaker, using blockchain technology, we've developed a layer 2 consensus algorithm called Proof of Influence. We track all of the social engagement across multiple social networks. We hash the proof on top of the Bitcoin network, the Ethereum network, Binance Smart Chain, other public blockchains. And then those aggregated proofs that have been hashed are then used to distribute rewards transparently, democratically to community and fans. So our system's set up to reward campaign creators for creating campaigns. They're actually, in essence, being paid to create campaigns on Raiinmaker. My hope is that where everyone who's a part of the Raiinmaker network can get the value that they deserve for what they're contributing in the world of social media. Not just social media, but there's a big impact focus to create a system, a platform that powers the kind of content and narrative online that we feel is missing right now. There's a cascade of crises that are coming and they're rising up all around us. With Raiinmaker, our hope is that when it comes to spreading the word on specific content, Raiinmaker hopefully will inspire more people to take action, more people to spread that message, more people to share content that will inspire people to rise up to meet the challenge of the moment.
The thing that drives me the most and makes me the most passionate right now is climate change and seeing our world in pain and in distress. What Lodato Tree is doing with that and the Great Green Wall is we're planting trees along this huge area that has been so affected by climate change. And we're planting trees because that locks water into the ground. It combats desertification. It stops dust storms from blowing across the Sahel, which is extremely, extremely toxic to breathe in, and it affects the whole world. Bringing trees back into this area is going to be so beneficial just for so many different reasons. That's adding economic support to the people who live along it, and it's their livelihoods. And when you plant trees, you get oxygen. We're rebuilding the lungs of the planet.
I'm Aaron Murphy, and I live in El Salvador, and we create videos to do social impact, building schools, houses, and businesses for families. For about 6 months, I slept on a mattress that I found in the dump, and uploaded one of my first videos to TikTok, and the next day is $20,000 in donations. I walk around and I go to these really humble neighborhoods, As soon as I find that family, we can raise anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000. Then we'll go and build a house, you know? So we just have a list, like, okay, what materials do we need to pour? Or maybe we need to purchase a house. We work really close now with the prisons. And the cool thing is every day that the prisoners work for Murph's Life, they get a day off their sentence. Prisoners are there and they're just like tearing up, man. Like, prison needs to be a place of rehabilitation.
Or what do you like hope to achieve? Like, kind of give us the long-term goals you have here.
We just want to continue to grow this, man. I just want to find more of these superheroes in the world and tell their story.
So we're in Buffalo, headed to the stadium. We're making a $10,000 donation to Mario for his toy drive for the kids of Birmingham, Alabama. So this is gonna be fun. All right, here you go, buddy.
Yo,
There it is.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you.
I want to thank you, Raiinmaker, for this great donation for my charity. For this donation, I'm going to use it for my toy drive, my Christmas toy drive, and try to give out many toys as possible. And this last year, I partnered up with Birmingham Police Department, and we gave out a bunch of toys. And, it's going to help tremendous. And I just want to thank all y'all that was involved, man. Yeah. Got here, man.
Stop when the clock hits 13. You've been working, but you're flirting with the weekend. You can freak out. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look, we do it.
We're here at the Reel Inn in Malibu with Brian Ruby from the Salem Kaiser Volcanoes, making a donation to Kirk Walker from the Sports Equality Foundation.
Sports Equality Foundation is an organization set up in place to help as many kids as possible in the LGBTQ community who love sports. We're gonna give them a donation to jumpstart their fundraising efforts in the new year.
The Kirk is pulling up in the next minute here. We got the check ready to go. Brian's back here to surprise him.
Let's go. Ready?
Hey, Kirk! Surprise!
Oh my God!
This donation is tremendous. Those funds are going to make a difference to a lot of kids and a lot of people's lives.
So back when I first got into Bitcoin, there was not a lot of education out there. There wasn't a lot of information. The websites were janky, you know, that had information about Bitcoin. And unfortunately, like, the resources for me to learn back then weren't nearly as robust as they are now. However, people now don't have an excuse because there's information about Bitcoin everywhere. And so I always try to implore people to learn more about what Bitcoin is, what blockchain is, what cryptocurrency is, what decentralization is. And when you really start to understand the definitions of those 4 words and how they all work together, you start to understand that this is not about some kind of random digital payment, you know, or digital currency. It's really a movement.
What are you doing?
This is for you.
Do you realize that's the exact amount in US dollars of the new home for those kids? That will actually build the new house on the land we just bought them. World Youth Horizons is our effort to give kids a chance at life that they're not getting in the environment that they're in. So I'll give you an example. In Uganda, we fund an orphanage there. And the orphanage was one 20-something-year-old orphan who started collecting all the literally unwanted kids that people were dumping, and they weren't living in a home or an orphanage. He was raising them in the middle of nowhere, sleeping on the dirt, scrapping for food. And so we bought land to build a home. We provide beds for the kids, clothing for the kids, medical care. We just had 50 dental appointments. And then the big moment, we enrolled them all in school. And that was a huge day. The way out of the orphanage is through education.
got that for you, buddy.
What are you doing?
This is for you.
That's the exact amount in US dollars of the new home for those kids.
I want to thank you, Raiinmaker, for this great donation for my charity.
Hey, what's up? So we actually wanted to give you this. So yeah, here's $25,000. If I hold on to this any longer, like I'm nervous.
Laudato Tree is a youth-led movement around planting trees along the Great Green Wall in Africa. We're rebuilding the lungs of the planet.
Hey, Kirk! Surprise!
Oh my God!
This donation is tremendous. Those funds are going to make a difference to a lot of kids and a lot of people's lives.
I spent a lot of time meditating on how can we overcome all of these various situations. Over time, the conclusion that I came to, blockchain was the ability to align incentive to drive human behavior. The technology already exists to solve the vast majority of the problems that we're facing. What is lacking is political and economic will. It's safe to say that cryptocurrency really played an important role.
Absolutely. Cryptocurrency saved a lot of lives.
There's a natural fit between what blockchain can do well and humanitarian and global issues.
I think that we haven't even started to touch the surface as to how liberating blockchain can be.
So we're here at the border of Ukraine getting ready to go on. We just got the notification that Kiev is on air alert, so we don't know exactly what we're driving into here.
The crypto donations that first came into Ukraine was the first money that they received from anyone in the world.
All right, so we're here in El Salvador. This is Bitcoin being mined with 100% clean, green energy.
I believe right now we're contributing to a much better financial economy, much better form of money.
I'm really excited for, the traditional finance system to embrace this technology. I want to be known as the college dropout that put it all on the line for this technology to better advance humanity.
The billions of people around the world that live on less than $1 a day and are not part of a global banking system. And it's because the banking system in place right now does not meet the times.
I think building the community is the reason why Bitcoin and blockchain and Ethereum has become where it is today.
Back then, the news is always, Bitcoin is used by drug lords. They're not drug lords. It's a bunch of geeks. It's a bunch of young kids. They're in for the technology. I said, look, if this is a community, I can join.
We are at a very pivotal and interesting point in time in the life cycle of our species. The hurricane that just blew through a couple years ago, the islands that had centralized power grids like Puerto Rico, they didn't have power for a year in some places. What if it hadn't been one power company, but it had been 10,000 small producers?
Our mission is the democratization of power. We've created a blockchain trading platform that enables people to buy and sell electricity peer-to-peer.
One of the true powers of the internet is that it democratizes the ability to be a wealth creator. All you need is a laptop and an internet connection in order to design the world's next billion-dollar product.
If we give people access to power, and power in today's world is that technology, is that blockchain, that they're going to create a reality that you and I haven't even imagined at this point.
It's happening. The movement's happening.
I think we're going into a new revolution.
When you find that thing, you don't do anything else. You work until that happens.
Blockchain is the most important technology I will ever see in my life.
We're creating wins for everybody.
We know what we can do. In 10 years' time, you won't be able to live without something that uses blockchain technology.
You can look back at it in 20 years' time and you can say, I was there.
Join me as I travel the globe searching out the innovators who are utilizing blockchain technology to solve the greatest global issues of our time and working to make the world a better place for future generations. I'm JD Seraphin, and this is A Brave New World.
You know, we're looking at pretty dire times. More challenges than we've ever faced on every single front. Every system of human existence is under immense pressure. And I think it would be pretty easy to be full of fear, full of doubt, full of despair. Yet, when I look around in the world, I feel a deep sense of purpose, because while all these challenges are rising up, at the very same time, we have the technology, we have people across the world that are actually rising up to meet the challenge of the moment. The only hope that humanity has is to empower everyone on the planet, and by doing that, we actually will create heaven on earth.